on June 20th. Me, my dad, and my coworker are talking to the process about potentially putting a driveway. That would be cool.
Dawn
They seem interested.
say he's sick.
That's the
They come in
condos
there
back there.
every Tuesday.
That would be
That's what
ideal.
we start thinking about.
Then Mark,
Because then we could
Mark's
just have the driveway go right up to the house.
Right.
It's over
We're losing
the
them.
station over there.
Well, something's scary.
We're working on cleaning up trucks at the moment for the touch-up truck. It's like, well, what if we go out and use them? Damn it.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, we're not really hard up to say thanks for all the big things you've given us in life, but Lord, sometimes it's the little things, as I've even noticed this week, that people do, Lord, that you just kind of often overlook or take for granted. So I pray, Lord, you help us to stop and take the time to be thankful for the little things in life as well. And now, Lord, we ask that you have your way in this meeting, probably a lot of things to take care of. And I just pray that you give wisdom where it's needed, guide and direct. And we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Announcements, correspondence? Anybody?
I don't have anything today.
The meeting, yes, which will be at 9 o'clock.
Yep.
Going to executive session. Minute review. Does anybody have a chance to review?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes
Second.
from,
5:31.
5:31.
All those in favor, Mike?
No abstaining, I have a chance to read.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, you did for both?
There's only one, that was just that had all the
Oh, okay.
executive session minutes.
Okay, has everyone had a chance to look at the agenda?
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda for discussion.
Second.
I have an addition. Under fiscal office, I need to add art payment, Mullen Engineering, so that would be number 2A,
What are we gonna be called?
art payment, Mullen Engineering. One of those checks that got processed actually is going through the AARP stuff, so before it gets sent off to them, we need to, not the AARP, the ARP. Sorry.
Anybody else have anything?
No.
I don't know, this thing that I've reviewed the purchase.
Oh,
We need a vote on that.
We just need to take a vote to add the fiscal office,
So,
ARP payment.
yeah, it's accepting the agenda as amended with the ARP.
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
I will make a motion to approve purchase orders.
Second.
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
And we need someone to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the warrants as presented.
Second.
All those in favor, Mike?
Dave.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay. Public comment and question time.
I'd like to talk about home rule and get the trustees' opinion on home rule. I've done a little bit of research, just in the fact that it gives us more latitude to be able to do things, clean up the township, take care of some other items, and divert around a lot of things that get tied up in Portage County prosecution that gets drug out for 2 or 3 years before anything gets done with as far as Portage County. It doesn't have any real effect on the township trustees, as to what they have to do of everything that I've read, does change the rules and regulations, causes you to hire a prosecutor, either part-time or full-time. And we already use legal, which would help offset that cost plus any income from fines levied by zoning, police department, whatnot would help offset that cost. But it gives the township a little more strength to, I mean, there's nowhere around here you can't drive down. You could drive down 30 roads and see people that don't bother to mow or have dead cars in their front yard, tearing down old houses. It just makes it look junky and gives us a quicker resource to remedy those problems. I think it would help in the township. But Copley Township posted this, they printed it. I pulled it offline as an informational to the residents as to what home rule will do for the township, benefits, and then also what it isn't allowed to enforce. So it was a pretty good.
And we did look into this, and it's still on our plate. The thing was, we were hoping, correct me if I'm wrong, we were hoping our population would be 15,000.
15,000 makes it real simple, but
And now we,
you'd have to go on the ballot.
exactly.
And I'm just presenting.
Is this, are they on the ballot, or did they, have they done this?
I couldn't tell whether they're on the ballot or it's done, but the information is from last year, so I don't know where they took it. I know they have to go on the ballot because they're not 15,000. At least I don't believe they are, but
I mean, one thing,
it does give a list of all the townships that are, and I think it should be something that tries to get on the 24 ballot.
it would definitely be something we have to do some education, these people aren't gonna understand it right away.
Exactly. So,
This is a nice little thing they put together.
yeah, I thought it was very good as information to be able to put out to the public and then, through town halls or whatever, try to inform the public as to what it'll do to help us.
It would help us with, I think it would gives them the teeth, basically, like the city.
It does, and so you have to hire a prosecutor, either part-time or full-time. I don't really know what the dollar amount for legal that the township pays now, but.
Anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 or $8,000 a month, depending on.
Yeah, so, if you hired a full-time prosecutor, Portage County prosecutors don't make maybe $100,000 a year, so, based on that, we don't have a big outlay of cash to bring a prosecutor on part-time or full-time. And then the benefits of it would even help offset that, but it would certainly make it easier for all the services to be able to get things enforced. Because right now, everything that's out there just gets bogged down in Portage County courts. I've seen this firsthand.
Yeah.
They just basically ignore us. That's my
Everybody,
opinion,
everybody did.
but.
It's a great thing, I think it would help us with a lot of things. I mean, noise ordinance, things like that.
Everything.
Well, I think it's something that we really have to research, and as a board, we really need to study up on it and really do the fine points on it. And I appreciate you bringing the issue to us. We've had this in the hopper for maybe 5, 6 years or so. So it's not new to us, but the new rules and regulations, we have to be up to speed before we pursue it, but I appreciate it.
Right.
Thank you.
They changed as to what they were, as to what they are now. Some of the regulations have laxed, it's made it easier for townships to get into home rule, but I agree with you, Sue, you guys need to research it more, and as things go on, I'll research it more too. So,
That's definitely something, think about 2024.
Well, did this pass?
It failed. I just looked it up. It was on the ballot last November. Yep.
but I think it's worthy of putting on a ballot.
What's our population like?
It's just under 12,000.
What do you expect in a year though?
Census won't come out for 10 years.
No, I'm just expecting what he's kind of guessing at?
Probably another 1,000.
So we still got a few years to even hit.
Well, but you can't do it till you get, it's based on census, so you're locked at 10 years.
Yeah, so that's why we just put it on.
Are you gonna keep it?
No, you would?
You want me to do it? Want to read through it?
Yeah.
Or you can just make copies for us.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Bill.
That's so sick.
There's all the things you gotta look at, cost is, do we get all the county roads?
No, not anymore.
Change that.
Is that how it was?
Yep.
Used to be.
Yeah.
Used to have gun control, I think they changed that, right? So you don't have that anymore.
I think with noise you can.
Yep.
Because of
No way you can.
the guy shooting.
But it's still, you're still gonna go through the Portage County courts.
Can I have my chickens?
You gotta get up to the.
It's up to the zoning board.
Nothing is easy anymore.
Thanks. Okay. Do we have any safety concerns? Rain.
That's nice. That's good.
I thought Chris was gonna be there.
No, Chris is on vacation this week, but I do have an update from the PD. So, Chief Mosley is off on FMLA, and Captain Atkins had scheduled vacation, so he's out. Let's see. Informally, we have multiple vehicles at the touch truck on Saturday. New officers Chris McKenzie and Zach are continuing with their field training program and remain assigned to field training officers. They are currently working on the development of lesson plans for submission to the state of Ohio for in-service training approval for the later part of 2023 to aid in satisfying the new mandatory continuing professional training CPT hours for all officers in the state of Ohio. Finally, Superintendent Dave Heffinger has once again requested BPD to provide the DARE program at Suffield Elementary School in the fall of 2023. They have mutually agreed upon funding arrangements to do this, which will mirror what we did in fall of 2022. So we'll be providing that DARE program out at Suffield also. Beyond that, no other update.
Okay, fire department.
Fire department, you see the calls for service there. Past 2 weeks events, John, Sue and I had a RICON meeting that went very well. I will say that since that meeting, we've had triple people out on site, so things are moving right along. We'll have annual pump testing for fire trucks to be completed on Thursday this week. The reason I say that is if you see our trucks going to Suffield back and forth all day, that's where we have to go down to Wingfoot, Blimhanger to do the testing down there. We also will be at the touch truck event on Saturday, and we have interviews today with some of the candidates for the entry-level firemen. I think we have 5 today and 4 next week. So
Good.
I'm very busy right now. That's it.
How many you trying to get out of those?
I'm doing 9 total.
9 interviews, but
Yes.
you're hired now, right?
Oh, 3.
That's what I thought. Okay, hey, that's great. I'm
Yep.
glad that worked.
Yeah, it's, I'll report to you in 2 week trustee meetings from now, and hopefully it's still good.
You said you thought that's a good chance.
I do.
Okay, and then down here, not the Brad.
I just have one piece under admin, nothing that we need to vote on, but just a clarification maybe for John. The library, that bid packets out there, we don't need to vote on that? And who does the bid opening? How does that process work?
Bid opening's still gonna be done last.
I talked to Chad,
Okay,
and he said Charles was the person that we assigned to do create the documents and all that stuff, and that he's the one that's in charge, that he's allowed to turn it over. But they have to come back to the board of trustees to be awarded the bid.
so do we need, does he open them or do we?
Well,
open
Chad
them?
will be here.
We
So
open.
let's ask
We
Chad.
open, okay, because then maybe we need to
We
set,
open.
because then we need to set a bid opening date, because the library's asking. They have products starting to come in probably in the
Yeah, I
next
know.
month or 2.
I've been talking to Jonathan.
Yeah, and
And then you have,
And so Jonathan's just kind of getting mixed messages, and I just want to get him a clear answer so he can start to prepare, because they may need to rent a pod for a time being to store
I don't
everything.
really know how it's getting mixed messages, I don't tell them very much.
I just kind of say we're at a standstill, so I don't know where he's.
I've kept them up to date on it, I don't do that, so I'm not sure where, I mean, I understand just then you bought all this material and stuff.
Right, and I just want to get him a clear date. I think part of it was Charles had originally told him that we would be in most likely around August.
Right.
Well, here we are, we don't even have the bids open yet.
Well,
so-
I can't 100% guarantee you this, but I thought it was the 28th of June, which is the next trustee meeting, when the bid open packets were supposed to be done, when their bids were supposed to be turned in.
So if that's the case, we need to set a public hearing for bid opening before the meeting, so we need to clarify that today, so that we can, because we need a motion to create that meeting.
That's true.
In fact, do we just want to create it, we can adjust it if we need to?
Yeah, 28th is the date that stuck out.
Yeah, and that's next trustee meeting. So why don't we just create one of them and cancel it?
So I'm gonna make a motion to amend the agenda to add library construction project.
And I'll second it.
Well, I got Wednesday the 28th at 7:45 for a bid opening.
That's for Dave's.
Yeah, I have
For
a
Dave,
chip and seal bid opening at 7:45 on 28th.
chip and
So-
seal.
So we have a motion and a second on the floor to amend the agenda
What
first.
time is your appointment?
7:45.
Okay, all those in favor to amend the agenda,
What time are we doing it?
Well, no, let's do, we have to amend the agenda, and then we have to do that motion.
Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
Yes. Then I'll make a motion for a bid opening meeting on the 28th at 7:30 a.m. for the library project, so that we don't interfere with chip and seal.
I'll second that.
okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
or Sue?
yes,
Yes.
Motion passed.
gotcha.
While we're talking library real quick, I mean, I don't know where we are in trying to get that place cleaned up. I mean, surely she did go look at some of the stuff.
Mhm.
And she said she'd like to try to help get rid of it, but.
Where, I thought we had somebody that was taking it all, what happened to that?
They took what they wanted, and they took a full truckload, right?
Yeah, Family and Community
So
Services.
with Nick, there's just so much stuff in there.
Can we just do we not want to deal with the tag sale, and then what's just left, we trash?
Grab the parking lot and say, come get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Open the door and say
The
everybody.
problem is we can't just give it away.
If we're throwing it away.
Right, you can throw it away.
There's a lot over there that just needs to be thrown away.
Yeah,
I wrote
honestly,
it through all of them.
I don't know how much value is in the items that are there.
Can we, I would be willing to come in on a Saturday or Sunday, if we can get a dumpster and just start hauling stuff out to the dumpster.
We're gonna need more than you.
Well, if we can get a few people, I might be able to scrounge up some volunteers.
It's terrible, a lot of stuff. Shirley, I had a couple.
Hey, Kirsten, can you
She
put that
called
on
me
paper,
yesterday,
628
and she's,
at 7?
we'll give her a week. And
And we just have, well, I guess maybe if those connections want it, they might have to buy it, which means we have to sell it to them for $1, because we can't just give it away.
I'm trying to think, who did Chad say?
I know he sent us an email about it. I
Yeah,
can,
he sent an email, there's an email that went around that we can, if it's for like a charitable or like what was that, Portage Community Services? Yeah, I mean, they took most of the stuff, but he said if we can find people that could use it,
Right.
and it's a lot of daycare stuff. Past community day daycare stuff.
I mean, I know some daycares that might be interested in some of this stuff, but then we have to sell it to them. And we gotta be careful that we don't just offer it to one other daycares.
I just think the daycare might look at something and then thanks.
Right.
It's not very good. I mean, my one refrigerator has stuff from the day it closed in it. All I know is we gotta get this thing going.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of those little kids' toys were that plastic stuff, and they've been played with enough, and, I wouldn't want my kid to have
They're
something, I'd
dirty.
have to disinfect it.
One thing, John, that sort of disappoints me with John is the fact that, all I asked him was to put up a simple sign to say, hey, coming soon, in the location. And I mean, they can't even put a simple sign up. I mean, are they gonna help us clean any of that out?
We reach out to him. He's still waiting to hear back on the contract, John, because you have that contract, right? We need to review.
What could have swore we passed it? It was the revised one that he put together.
We passed the revised one? Because if we passed it, he didn't get back to him.
I don't know, we did pass it. I can't remember.
Let me check.
Okay. And he did mention that he wants to put up a sign, he's just looking for
Yeah, it
a
was,
tentative date of when to get in. So maybe once we get these bids open, we'll know a date that way he can, because he's gonna get phone calls, like, what's the sign? What day are you open?
Yeah.
And his answer's gonna be, I don't know, and that's.
Yeah, and then we gotta hope we can find someone that's actually bidding on it.
Right. Well, that's why I was a little surprised when Charles put the bid packet out, because I was hoping we would be able to help advertise this, just so we could let some
I think
local firms
we
know.
got some dates for you or something.
well, but I was surprised as well because I thought he was bringing it back to me on Friday so we could bring it to the board at that trustee meeting. And then I found out that it just got sent out, so
Where did he advertise?
I don't know.
Oh, there's a thing for.
Builders Exchange, that's where he's going to.
You wanna touch base with him? He's hard to get a hold of.
Well, that's my problem. I call and I don't get a response. Or I email and I get an email like 2 weeks later.
I don't know if we both tried, but I mean, maybe I'll try to give him a call today.
Because I just think there's some local construction companies that I want to make sure they hear about it, because they may be willing to work with us more, because we're local.
Right. But that's why I called Chad. I wanted to make sure what he did was legal,
Okay.
so.
Well, can we give Shirley a week, and then if not, we can maybe just get a work day together and see if we can get some volunteers to start cleaning it out? I mean, I don't mind chipping away at it, just to get the project
It's gonna
going.
be chipping away, that's for sure.
Gotta put a dumpster there.
Yeah.
There's already one there.
Yeah, we already took out one dumpster
Big
road.
Yeah, that's a medium sized dumpster.
Something people walk into.
If we just get a rollaway for a day or two.
Just don't scratch my
I'd
pipe.
sure love to have someone there now.
Yeah.
No, but we kind of are the landlord
Do we
though.
need to add
I don't know
more
if
to
they
the
would.
agenda since it's been a conversation?
We amended the agenda
Okay,
to add that.
all right,
Okay,
good
well,
shape.
we just need to get this tied up. I can't tell you how many phone calls I've been.
Yeah, I'll be happy for this project too.
Yeah, me too.
All right, well, we've been opening, by next trustee meeting, let's try to get a workday scheduled.
And I'll reach out to him.
If we get a workday, I'll call Jonathan, I'm sure he'll at least come out and help us, and we'll see who else we can volunteer. We'll scrounge up a few people.
There's just a lot of stuff, man. I mean, there's, refrigerators, we gotta get it out there.
Right.
And then Cassie, you're not sure if you want all your stuff, right?
I think we've pretty much taken what we wanted,
So everything else that's in there is pre-game?
for the most part,
Did
yeah.
Shirley call you?
Huh?
Did Shirley call you?
Yeah, she did, I need to call her back.
Okay, yeah, that's what you wanted to ask you about.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
good.
right, thank you.
Sure. Okay, hey, Mike?
Thanks. So Pride One Apartment Homes on Tonsker Drive have submitted for their zoning certificate. We did issue one of those. Remaining zoning certificates will be granted as they come in. They plan on starting this summer. The TIF was sent over to the schools. Fiscal office sent that over on the 8th, and there's a 14-day waiting period. So that'll come before the trustees afterwards. And then 1203 Dorley Drive demolition order was granted. And then we're going to auction off the items of value and then demolish the house. We do have that Corvette and a boat, and looks like some kind of a motorcycle in there and some lawnmowers. So
Is that a 1960 Corvette?
looks like it's in the 60s, yeah.
Use it at the race.
So-
I want the boat.
You said you guys couldn't even make it out of the basement. huh?
No, it's too bad. And the steps are gone, ceilings collapsed. It's like one of those hoarder shows, you know.
Lots of mold and mildew.
And Clyde said he closed the back door and go back and be open again. So
Yeah.
Someone was going in and out, or,
Yeah, for sure.
it's a pretty area.
It is. Yeah, nice area. Somebody probably build a new house there.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, I got two questions for you here. Number 9 and number 11, can you talk about those? I don't know. Where is High Point Hills?
So High Point Hills is behind, it's along, and it goes around Redwood. Redwood is in the center of High Point
Oh,
Hills
on Green
subdivision. And then there's a developer that's interested, as we were going through our negotiations and our
Okay, I guess I
eminent
didn't
domain
realize
there.
I didn't know what that was the name of.
Yeah.
And then the Pleasant Lakes, is that down by the Mexican restaurant and Holiday Inn.
Yes, so that's Dave Crummel with the condominium
It's on the
project
same
that's
side of the road.
actually going in behind your house.
Oh, that one's not the one on Sanctuary. then.
Well, he's got that one too, and he's got one behind the Mexican restaurant.
Okay, that's where I was, that's on the right-hand side. Nobody bought that property on the left.
Actually, his is gonna be on the left, behind the
If
Mexican
you're coming
restaurant.
in from 43.
Nobody has bought the one on the right behind Holiday Inn yet.
And did the sign disappeared out there in front of Holiday Inn, that for sale sign they had out there? for
In the
longest
front.
time?
Yeah,
I know they were trying to get a restaurant in there, but it disappeared, so I didn't know.
Nobody said anything yet.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Mike, can you just give me a quick update? What do we have the consultant working on still? Because this is probably like the third month in a row we've been paying fees for her,
For who?
your consultants.
Mark?
No, what's her name?
Kayla?
Kaylee. Yeah. Kayla, yeah. So, because we've been paying that for 3-4 months now, it seems like every time there's 250, 350, 650. But new housing permits are down, income is down for fees. Is there like another project she's working
So
on?
your fees are gonna skyrocket coming forward, just with the Pride One development.
Okay.
We're looking at probably 100,000 in fees there. But
Okay.
the paperwork and all that has to be done before they pay. So,
I'm just
right
trying to figure out, do we have a staffing issue in your department? What's, you know what I mean? Do we need
No.
more staffing? Because we just keep paying this consultant fee every month.
No,
I thought it
I-
was just gonna be kind of a temporary piece from what.
She is. Yeah, she is. Yeah. It's gonna be a while yet.
What is she, I guess I'm looking for clarification where she's working.
Do you have my work report?
Yeah, I have your work report here, but I was just wondering, is there that much workload in there that we need to be looking at another person in that department?
We do. We do.
You know, what's causing her to?
Well, we
get
do,
consulting fees?
one of the executive sessions out there is personnel issues, staffing issues, because we do have an issue, but it's not related to that, but we have
Okay.
personnel issues.
Yeah, I know there's other issues, but,
We're short staffing over there.
right, I was just looking at it, because we keep paying
I understand.
the subcontractor this, $25 an hour each week. I was just trying to figure out, because it didn't happen for years, and all of a sudden we see an increase in it, so I was just seeing.
Sure, I'll give you a report.
Okay,
Yeah, again, that's what was, that's you might, I think you need another person.
Yep.
Well, that's what we're
I mean, the
gonna
good thing with the
talk about.
subcontractor, we're not paying the bennies
Sure.
that goes along with it.
right. It just, seeing that increase over the past several months made me question, hey, what's the workload, what's happening there?
Yep, we'll give you a report.
Okay, I'll look for that at the next meeting.
Sure.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
Hey, road department.
Just want to let the board know, we're doing some culvert work. Like everybody else, we're getting stuff ready for touch a truck this weekend. And, we've been out doing some road mowing. I forgot to put this on. I don't think I need to agenda anything. Nick, your question about the three-way stop,
Yes.
that was kind of my fault. I dropped the ball a little bit. I forgot about it. The county's gonna start working on it again. They should have something to you by next trustee meeting. Just to let everybody know, it's, one of the things that kind of slipped everybody's mind. Too many other projects. Ridgeview and Sanctuary View. They want to look into that. They got to do some traffic studies and stuff, then go from there. So that was just an FYI. All right, now I'll jump into the fun stuff. I need to get boards, I'm requesting board's approval for the 2023 paving project for King Ridge resurfacing project for $461,330.
For how much?
$461,333.
That's the county's estimate, correct?
Yes, that's a county estimate.
What do we need to approve that, or do we just need to approve that, put it out for bid?
Well, it's where we can start getting the project moving forward. 'Cause I need to put out advertisement dates, bid openings and all that for it.
So this is to put it out for bid.
Yeah, we're just making a motion to approve the bid.
I just kind of want to give you guys a shocker I got too, so.
So we're, just so I write this correctly, we're approving to put this out for bid.
Yes.
Right. Well, no, we're not putting the dollar amount. It's just the estimate, right?
So we don't need
Yeah,
to-
that's-
That makes, right?
we don't have to make it at a motion. I mean, it's gonna be in the bid pack when it goes out to them, what they're,
Okay.
I mean, but we don't have to, you put it out there, you have to, it's not, it doesn't mean anything, that's just their estimate.
We're gonna make a motion that we, accept. Let's see. So what are we doing this, or those days, Portage County engineers, we're gonna make a motion for the Portage County engineers to put the bid book together for Kings Bridge. Need a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, I know you were talking about the possibility of maybe doing another subdivision if they're all close in the same area.
Right.
Yeah, are you still thinking about that? No.
How the price of asphalt went sky high this year.
Okay.
So, yeah, everything, again, this is the estimate. I don't know until I get the full prices back, bids, exactly if it's higher or lower, you know, all that stuff. So,
Right. Okay. And how much would this have cost 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
probably would have been at least 100,000 less.
With 350, we were, what was the other one that we did that was real close to that? Was the other lot one we did?
Butternut Ridge, actually, Bill's allotment last year was only close to say 300. And that had curb and gutter and all this stuff. This is just a lot more patching, a lot more. We have, like I said, we have a road failure going on up there. The curb is actually sinking on the asphalt curb. So we got to build all that up just to get the stabilizer and bring it back. So there's a lot more to this allotment. So.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Then I need the board's approval for advertisement dates of June 23rd and June 30th, with the bid opening being July 12th at 7:45 a.m. before the meeting.
I'll make that motion.
And you're gonna work that with Kirsten?
Yes.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, so we already passed the request for Portage County agenda. I think we passed this already, for board approval for Portage County engineers to put the bid book together.
And that's all done there.
That's done already?
Yeah.
Okay. And, I don't know, I can't remember if I have to do this or not, but I just figured I'd put it out there. We did get our winter salt prices in from the state. Just requesting the board's approval to accept the state bid for salt through the winter of 2023 through 2024 from Morton Salt for the price of $51.61 a ton.
We'll make that motion.
I'll second that for discussion. Dave, what's that look like compared to last year's number?
I only went up, well, it's $2.90 a ton.
Okay.
So actually, it was very shocking. I was waiting for $60, $70 a ton.
I even wrote him an email when I saw it, I'm like, ooh, and I thought it was gonna be $70 and it's 51.
Yeah, I was just curious, just 'cause I don't remember the numbers each year.
Yeah, last year was $48.60 cents or something. But it comes out less than $3 a ton.
Okay.
So actually, what we did budget back for it, everything, we're in good shape.
You got a lot of salt already, right?
Yeah, we still got probably 600 tons sitting
But we're still doing 1,200?
there, 14. Yeah, because can't swear this year ain't gonna be the worst one you've seen, so. Yeah, other than that, that's all I got.
Dave, I just had a quick question, on Hunter's Ridge. When do we anticipate that sign to be up? They're just asking if it's not gonna be up by the beginning of July. That you go out
I'm
and
still
straighten
waiting.
it up.
I'm still waiting for, to come in from graphic detail. They were supposed to be working on it. I can check with them and see when it's gonna be done.
You want to know, because if it's just gonna be an elongated time, they were gonna put fresh coat of paint on there.
Oh, actually, that sign doesn't look that bad out there right now.
Yeah, but that.
Yeah, that's,
Flags around and everything.
but trust me, I've been checking on it.
Yeah, they like to go out and make it look really nice. So she's like, if it's gonna come down right away, we're gonna put the effort in.
No,
If it is gonna be a while.
No, let me check with them, because they did, get it, I got it fired up here a little while ago, because I kind of put a halt on it for the winter,
Right.
so. But, yeah, let me double check with them, see.
Just give me a call and let me know so I can
Okay.
email them that.
I know they're open behind down there.
Well, yeah, they got a lot of stuff.
They're-
So, yeah, let me double check and see where they're at with that.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All those in favor of the salt bid, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Dave's son got married this weekend.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Dave.
thanks.
Park and Rec.
Right, my first item is the McGuire Park Lake Management. This was tabled from 2 weeks ago. I just wanted to revisit it for discussion. Just a reminder that I did get 3 bids for lake management, and the best one was the Lake Doctors at a rate of, it was $798 per treatment month. And then if we wanted to do the muck biotics, it'd be an additional $3,000 per season. So I just wanted to see if we wanted to pursue that this year, if we wanted to hold off until next year.
I did check with Mark and Eddie,
Mhm.
and Eddie didn't look into what we can use the M&I for. I think I forwarded you a copy,
Yes.
and John a copy. So, I mean, that is definitely a gym expense, so, just looking at it, I mean, I really think you probably need to get started sooner than later.
Yeah.
It's gonna get worse every year.
And since I got the quote, we would realistically be starting treatment in July instead of June. So $798 per treatment month would be July, August, September, and October. It would only be one application in October, so it would be $3,192, and then an additional $3,000 if we wanted to do the muck biotics this year. So it'd be less cost since we're starting later in the season.
Is that muck bionic? Is that things that eat the stuff off the bottom?
Yes. Yeah.
That place probably needs
I had to do
that.
some of my bond this year, $2,000, but it really, it gobbles them.
Yeah.
So, because there's a thing called Limbia that's in this area, and all of a sudden you'll have this huge mat of stuff just float out. And that's what's causing a lot of the problem with the lake. It doesn't make it a healthy lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done. And then if it gets ahead of you, then that's where you see all that pond slime, a lot of the.
And I mean, you know, the geese that keep flying in, and it's, once you start pond managing, I mean, my pond looks great, I do it every year. And, it's just, they take care of it. It's hard, I mean, especially if we're gonna be opening this park up.
Right. Yeah.
This is
Did we hear anything about the road? Did anybody talk to?
We're having a meeting on June 20th, I believe. Mike Woolland and Mike, are you going to be there also? With Sutton Crossings to discuss a possible entrance. So if that would go through, just to back up a little bit. So Sutton Crossings, the apartments there are considering putting a driveway through their property into the park, which would be an ideal location for a driveway. I mean, I can't think of a better place for it. So if that were to happen, I would encourage us to do more with that park sooner than later, since that's kind of, you know, the reason that they would be allowing us to do that. So
Are we gonna be responsible for their driveway to our driveway?
that I don't know yet.
Well, it's right before their. No, because well, you are, because you're responsible for that main drag there.
Right.
So you know where their sign is?
Mhm.
When you're entering, they were thinking about right there on that side of the pine trees, there's just like 10-foot.
Where there's like
wide
that
area.
easement already with the electric boxes?
Right down there along the edge.
Well, no, I was just saying if they were gonna build it off of the condos themselves, now are we gonna be responsible to take care from there all the way to drive to the condos?
Well, yeah, is it gonna be a driveway or is it gonna be a road that leads back to our parking lot? If it's a road, then we're gonna be responsible for the road.
The road, but not any of their.
Oh, no, I was thinking they were, because a lot of their property butts right up there, so you just knock the curb on their yard, so now are we gonna take care of that curb, you know?
Well, we would only take care of the road piece that we put in.
Okay.
Because it's gonna be right before you get to their property. So it wouldn't even be on their property, it would come off our main road anyway.
Well, I don't wanna end up out, oh, you didn't plow your park driveway.
Well,
In the middle
it'd be
of
a
it.
5-foot section that you wouldn't. I
Right,
mean,
okay, no, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't where we're taking the curb out. And then all of a sudden I have, you know what I mean, a swath going through their property and then through the new curb.
It'll be just coming off the
Okay, right off the end
drive
across
there,
from,
and then pulling down that road and dumping it in the parking lot
On the-
back, which would all
on the
be
basement.
Yeah,
ain't that what that's called there now, the basement? Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
but it's where the road would be was right before their sign. We might have to move their sign back a little bit, but it might be right there.
Well,
And I
I'm
think
just,
one of the things they wanted to talk, was throw this out there, is they want access in return for the back to get in the park
Sure.
from their apartment complex, and that would be their trade, because now they can advertise their apartment complex with a pool and entrance to a park. And all
So they just want like a walking trail that leads up through the woods there to the apartments.
That's what they said, so they'll do more when they.
sounds like a better deal than that Lou's thing.
Yeah, much better.
So when you did these bids, that was the lowest bid.
Yes, it was.
My only concern is I use the lake doctor. And, I've used all of them. So,
Well, let me just jump in. I can't approve it on the budget side. You can approve it out of the TIF or the JED money. We have enough in there, but out of the general budget there, I can't afford that.
so I just don't want to have any conflicts.
Well, you don't have a vested interest in lake doctors, right? Yeah, you can be a customer of them, you just can't have a vested interest in there's a
I
financial.
just want to make sure that's out there. But they have done a wonderful job with my place. So.
So I guess if you want to proceed with it out of the JED.
That's up to Cass. Catfish.
Do you want to make a motion to proceed?
I would make a motion to proceed.
Are we doing the entire piece, or are we doing, because she gave a bid and then an add-on piece, so what's the motion
Sure.
for?
Did you want to do the muck biotics as well?
It's crazy not to do
I-
muck.
I would agree.
With as bad as it is now.
Yeah, because my concern with that is with the increased organic matter, we're gonna lose oxygen in the water, and the existing fish that are in there are probably gonna die. So,
Right, and then that piece of equipment they have, that really doesn't do much for
Right.
that. This is all been built up over the years.
yeah, whatever maintenance Tim was doing was just on the surface, so.
Right.
Do you have that bid still there?
I do, I believe it should be in your report, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in Dropbox, the
Okay.
three bids.
I don't know if you printed it or not.
I don't know the prices.
Okay. The price was $798 per treatment month.
And that's 2 treatments a month.
Yes,
And they bring a load out.
yes. And then it would be, for the muck biotics, it's just a straight $3,000 per application, so. Which
So
would
we
be
rate
one.
that $11,000, not to put over, to exceed $12,000.
So it only goes till,
Yeah, because it would only be July, August, September, October, so that would be
Oh, so it's just a 5-month
and I cut mine off in October.
$6,192 for this year.
Total.
Yes,
with the $3,000.
yes,
6,100 and what?
92.
No change.
Nope.
So you're gonna move to approve the lake doctor's bid of $6,192 payable out of the town's jet for pond maintenance of McGuire Park.
Have a lot of the jet.
That's right, out of town's jet.
Jet maintenance, okay.
And Nick, you seconded that.
I'll second that for discussion. How soon are we anticipating the park opening this year, or is it gonna be a 2024 project?
I would anticipate 2024. I'm a pessimist though, so I think it'll really depend on what is decided with the Sutton Crossings driveway and how soon that can go in, because that's really our biggest obstacle.
You're gonna do it in the fall, you said another open house.
Yes.
Well, we don't have an entrance in there, we don't have a parking lot in there.
Right.
So that
You're
kind of,
gonna do a nice parking lot, temporary.
we don't even have an access road back here yet.
Okay, enough road.
Private drive over there. Okay. All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
Nick,
Yes.
motion passed.
Great, thank you. The rest of my report is just informational. The flag repair at the town green, McConkey flag repair will be out to repair it this week. And they said their estimated repair date will be Saturday, the 17th. So hopefully that will be done soon. Unfortunately, I have to announce that my parks assistant will be leaving me. Her boyfriend got a job in Pennsylvania, so she will be leaving Brimfield Township. She hasn't given an official resignation date because they're working on moving and all that stuff, but she's anticipating either end of July or early August because he's a school counselor, so he'll need to start probably in August. So I'm working with Holly to write a job description for that because her job description when it was written was for a part-timer. So we'll need to explore that and update it as needed, and proceed with that. And then upcoming programs, of course, we have Touch a Truck this Saturday from 11 to 2 at Lions Park. Next week, the 21st to the 23rd, we have the Little Explorers Summer Camp. And then on 6/23, we have an American Steel concert from 7 to 9 at the Brimfield Historical Society.
Nothing else.
Free concert, yes,
So Mike's place is donating that.
yes.
So there's no-
I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, look at old people.
Cassie, I just had a quick question. You're getting the intern in September.
Yes,
Are they a high school student or are they?
yes, yeah,
So are they under the age of 18?
yes.
Okay, we work with HR to make sure we're following all the rules and regulations for hiring somebody under the age of 18.
Yes, I worked with HR and Chad, and he basically said there's not really a lot of limitations except for the regular limitations for people under the age of 18. I know we discussed no driving of township vehicles and that
That
kind
was
of
one of
thing.
my
but-
concerns was township vehicles, and then
Yeah.
work hours can be an issue, like we have parks events, we have to be careful.
Yeah, and she's limited, her internship is,
Yeah, but she's under 18, she's 17, that's the concern.
and I believe she will turn 18 during her internship. But her internship is limited. She goes to biomed, so they have predetermined hours that she's supposed to work anyway. I think it's only 1 to 2 days a week. And she's supposed to be working on a particular project for the most part. She can be, helpful in some areas, but she's gonna have a project to work on. So then I'm gonna be, I'll be documenting that for biomed and reporting to them on her progress, so. Yep.
Okay. Joe.
All right, my stuff is informational also. I'm gonna work with Holly, or I've already started working with Holly. I just want to increase a little bit of our township's security, more in regards to mandating two-factor authentication to log in to your cloud services, Office 365 email. Just to tighten up a little security here, just because right now, I would say about half of our township employees just have basic password. So if that password gets compromised, they now have access to your web presence and, could access your OneDrive and any of your cloud services. So I know Brian started working on two-factor authentication before he left. If it doesn't look like he was able to get that complete. So I just want to make sure that I'm able to cover all of the restrictions by mandating it. I know that there's some issues there, or there potentially could be issues with mandating two-factor authentication with employees that do not have a township phone per se, because two-factor authentication will texting you or calling you. So I need to work with Holly to make sure that we've got everything covered. So if we have a township employee that doesn't want to give out their personal information, how do we guide through that? So she's supposed to get back to me tomorrow. She's gonna reach out to some of her colleagues and see how we can navigate those waters. So that's the only thing I do on that. AT&T is going to be out tomorrow at the fire department to do another site survey. The original site survey for the fiber internet was based on the fiber being ran to the old building instead of the new building. Now I know that the conduit, the build plan has the fiber being ran to the new building, so they just want to do another site survey. See, make sure it still meets the requirements. The fire department will have to be delayed until after they move into the building, because the conduit that's running outside of the building to run the fiber through is only ran to the outside of the building because they have to go under the old driveway. So they ran the conduit, but until we move the fire department over, they can't finish it. So we are gonna have to wait until September, October to finish the fiber. I'm hoping we can proceed the police department until then. I've already worked with AT&T. That is not an issue with the contract we signed. It will take effect when the service is actually installed. And then the last thing I have is AT&T Cellular. Devices and SIM cards and equipment is starting to arrive this week. I've preliminary thrown out a date of, lost my date, of June 27th as being the date when we're going to cut over service. That's based on Captain Atkins and myself having some vacation between now and then. I want to make sure that we're both available. And for that cutover, if we do it on the 27th, AT&T will provide 2 employees to us. So there'll be myself and Chris managing it, but the actual helping employees set up their phone, make sure everything's going well, will be done by AT&T themselves. And said they're planning on bringing 2 people to be on site for us. I did explain to them, obviously we have shifts, so we can't do it all in one day. So they're going to go onto their side and they're going to figure out, how they want to be able to do that. But, we have 3 shifts of people in fire and in police, so we're going to need someone available across the board, and that's not something that they foresee any issues with. So, but the plan is to have, Chris and I managing it and, doing the tech side, but AT&T actually doing the hands-on with employees that need help moving their data from A to B. So hopefully by, the first few weeks of July, we will be on AT&T Cellular then.
So everyone that has a phone needs to go to the same?
Yeah, if you have a township phone, you're either getting your SIM card replaced or you're getting a new phone. AT&T did decide pretty much most phones are going to get replaced with an iPhone 12.
And
So-
what date is that?
That is the 27th is, 27th is preliminary the date that I picked out. And the only reason I haven't firmed that up is because Chris is on vacation currently, so I want to speak to him first.
June 27th.
Yes, so I just have a tentative date with AT&T being on site that day. As long as Chris is okay with that, then we'll firm that date up. That's all I got.
Quick question on the 2-factor authentication.
Yes.
Do we need to do 2-factor authentication if we're on site versus when we're off site? So for example, if I'm hardwired into the network, do we still need the 2-factor compared to if I was accessing it?
Because 365 is a cloud service, it really has a hard time saying you are here versus in the site because we don't have what's called Active Directory integration. Your computer is not logging into a network, and then that network passes the security to 365. We don't have that set up. You're logging into it as a web service, so we don't have the integration that would allow for that. And even with that, it's still best practice to mandate 2-factor. Just because if your computer was compromised somehow, we don't want those credentials just being accepted. We still want to double check that.
Okay. Because I was just gonna have some other companies do that, where it's if you're on site hardwired and you don't do the 2-factor.
Yes, and what they have
If
is
you're outside, then obviously you do because now you're networking.
yeah, and what they have is they have what's called Active Directory integration. The server that's on site is passing security to the cloud, and because of the way the township is designed, we can't do that. We don't have one network that covers everything. We have a township network that's more or less just in the town hall, and then we have a police department network. Those 2 networks do not talk to each other.
So you can't use that process.
Right.
I was just trying to find a workaround where we didn't have to deal with personal cell phones.
The other alternative we have, which is, in my opinion, cost prohibitive, if Holly comes back to me and says we absolutely cannot make someone use 2-factor, the other thing we could look into is buying hardware tokens. I'm sure you may have seen the
passcode.
Yeah, it's a physical device that has the numbers rolling on it. Those devices are fairly costly. It's not a cheap system to get into. So I'm really hoping that we don't have that ability, we don't have that need for that. What I'm proposing to Holly is if someone doesn't want to give out their personal cell phone number, they don't have a township phone, is using a phone in one of the departments. So that Microsoft has the ability to physically call you with a voice call and read the code to you. So if someone says, I absolutely don't want to do it, then we're using that option. The problem with that is if that person was at home or on vacation and needed to log into their email, they go to log in, it's now going to call the fire station and read a code, obviously confusing someone. So it's not ideal. I'm hoping that we don't have someone that just puts their foot down and says absolutely not. But I just want to double check with Holly before I proceeded because in my prior life, I did run into a handful of people that just, they drew a line in the sand, they didn't want to cross it. And in that case, we used landlines to solve that issue. So I just want to make sure I'm getting all my, get everything from an HR standpoint covered before I start rolling down the road.
Okay. No, I appreciate it. I was just looking at some different options.
Yep.
See if they existed.
Hey, thanks, Joe. Hey, fiscal office.
Use the difference out of
Whole
it.
business, so we have an R page, so. I'm gonna make a motion, which will include this.
I think is that the ARP form that we have to read, John?
Where be it resolved, the township of Brimfield Trustees, whereas the state 6/14/2023. Mike Jasinski made move to the adoption of the following resolution, whereas the township has received a distribution of monies, the ARPA funds from the American Rescue Plan 2021. ARPA, the Act, and whereas Congress passed the Act effective March 11, 2021, and whereas Section 603 created the coronavirus supplemental fiscal recovery fund, which among other things appropriated money to cities, non-entitlement units of local government and counties to mitigate the fiscal effects stemming from the public health emergency in respect to coronavirus, COVID-19, and and now therefore the hereby resolved by this. Now therefore is hereby resolved by the board that the project described herein serves the objective of the act by providing services traditionally provided by a government, namely cemetery, land engineering, land and land use regulation and enforcements.
So just so everybody knows, it's the $792 or
$742
for the surveying and some engineering work for the cemetery project that we're working on.
This.
You just read the end there.
Be it further resolved that it is hereby found and determined that all formal actions of this township concerning relating to the adoption of this resolution were adopted in the open meeting of the township trustees, and that all deliberation of the township trustees or any of its committees that would result in such formal action were in the meeting open to public compliance with all legal requirements, including section 121-22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Adopted the 14th day of June 2023. Okay, just give me a second.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Okay. Roll call.
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna have your paperwork for executive session.
Yeah. There's two of them. The first one I'm gonna have, I need Mike Ladden. That's that one right there. And then the second one, we're gonna have Holly and Chad in when they get here. Yeah. Just this actually, check it out there.
State 6/14/23, trustee Mike Jasinski moves to convene in executive session. Pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, section 121-23 for the purpose of considering the following. Number two, to consider the purchase of property for public purchase or for the sale of property at competitive bidding. If premature disclosure of information would give an unfair and competitive or bargaining advantage to personnel by interest is adverse to the general public interest. No member of the public body shall use division G2 of this section as a subterfuge for providing covert information to prospective buyers and sellers. Has purchased or sale of public property, or if the seller or buyer has public property has received covert information from a member of the public body that has not been disclosed to the general public in sufficient time, whether prospective buyers and sellers are submitting offers. If the minutes of the public body show that all meetings and deliberation of the public body will be conducted in compliance with this section, any instrument executed by this public board or convey lease or otherwise disposed to by title or interest in any public property shall be conclusively presumed to have been executed in compliance with this section. Insofar as title of other interest or otherwise person possessing transfer of the property is concerned.
You need a second on that one.
I'll second.
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
That's the first one, and then this is the second one that we're gonna go through.
Okay, this states 14.23, trustee Len Kaczynski moved to convene an executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 121-22G for the purpose considering the following matters. Compensation of a public employee or official.
That's it.
I need to read this whole other part again.
Nope. No, that's the situation. Well, read the last B right there before the second. On the last page.
The Adams Forum will qualify as determined by roll call vote that the executive session is necessary to protect the interests of the applicant or a possible investment or expenditure of public funds to be made in connection with the economic development project.
So we need a second.
Yes, second?
All those in favor, Mike?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed. So we are in an executive session at 9:00. Need Mike Ladd, the board, in the first one, and then the second one, we're gonna need Holly and Chad when he gets here.
Okay, you live?
We are live.
We're back from executive session, we only have one resolution, right?
Yep, I'm gonna read this if you want me to, and
Yeah.
just to make sure it matches what I was thinking about how I read it. We're moving to approve personal day time payouts for the following employees. Mike Ladd, 10 days, Craig Mullally, 18 days, Ron Goodspeed, 6 days. These days cannot be cashed out and have to be used by 12/31/25, or they will be forfeited. Is there anything you want to add to that, or is that,
That's fair.
that good?
Yeah, you go with that.
I will make that motion.
I will second that motion.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
Nick?
Yes.
Motion passed. We will implement this immediately.
Okay, and there's no other action, so I'm gonna make a motion, we end this meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
yes.
Nick?
Yes.
We are adjourned at 10:23.
Thank you.
Go.
Yeah.